my trip, my trip, my trip, my trip, my trip. My dream is my trip.
I thought I'd do my Sally Jesse Raphael today.
Oh, right? True.
Look at me now. All right, so we usually Mark, we usually just wait for people to come in.
Right.
And it's a time for people to figure out that the show is starting. I see people. Can you guys hear me? No volume.
On whose side?
That's weird. Let me know if you guys have volume. Let me know. I'm looking on my Facebook right now. Oh, there is volume. So all of you don't have volume. Turn up your volume. That's what you need to do. Because this song means something. You guys know this song? I love it. Do you have yours, Mark? Is it still wet? Ah, hilarious. Okay. All right, guys. Hey, Denise. Hi, Selma. Jay, how's everybody doing? I'm going to. Do you guys like the Sally Jesse Raphael thing going on? I can only use it. The thing is that when I put my glasses on for too long, I actually see less. If that makes sense. But I actually see less. So, that's how it's going to go. I want to welcome everybody that's coming. I'm looking down just because, oh no, we may have lost him. It's been going on and off for a little bit, but I'm sure Mark will be back. Well, he's coming back.
We'll restart. That's
Here
good.
we go. All right. So for those of you who have never tuned into a Real Talk with Rachael-lea, I just want to let you know, first of all, thank you. And this is my little show on Facebook. It goes for about an hour, sometimes way more than an hour, depending on how we are talking. What I would love you to do is share. If you guys can share this out, if you know people that would really benefit from watching the show tonight, share it. So take some time to share it for me, okay? Yeah, share. Please do that. Share. All right. I see you, Clarendon. I see you, Amy. I see you. Thank you so much for sharing. The more you guys share, excellent. I see Sherry and Pam, all of you guys sharing it. That's amazing. If you can do that, that helps us get the word out. First of all, I have a little apology. I won't mention his name, but there was a young man that came and asked me out on a date today in my inbox. And I didn't realize how old he was. But there's this little thing called rape. He's a little young. So we want to stay away from that. So thank you so much. I didn't want to call you out by your name, but I want to say thank you. I'm very flattered. See you in 20 years. Okay? Okay. All right. So I also want to let you guys know that sometimes when we're doing these Facebook Lives, right, I'm using another platform called Be Live. So there's a bit of a delay. When we talk, you might respond. There's usually about an 8-second delay, so just be patient on that. But I just want to make sure that everybody is good, all right? So I have my phone up here on this side so I can see you. Are we good? Because on my phone, it looks like I'm frozen. Is that what it is? Let me know. Give me hearts and likes if everything else is good. All right. Okay. So like every week, I will put out a disclaimer. The views and the opinions of our audience is not necessarily the opinions of the broadcaster. Okay? AKA, I don't want any unhappy emails or stuff. Okay? So I just want to say this is an open platform for us to talk, right? Secondly, I want to make sure that we are always respectful of one another. Good. Hi, Donovan. I want to be respectful of one another at all times. In order for us to keep Real Talks going, we have to be real respectful, okay? For those of you that don't know me, you might be coming in once again. My name is Rachael-lea, and follow my page if you really like the Real Talk, so you'll get notifications all the time of what's going on with me and with Real Talks. I now want to introduce this awesome gentleman that is joining me, Mark. How I met Mark, I was doing a Real Talks a couple weeks ago, and it was about Black women, the single Black table, how we can't find nobody, and there ain't no available Black men in the city. And Mark, did you just happen to come across?
I don't even know how I came across it. I just saw a feed and I decided to tune in. I found it very interesting. I said, you know what, let me just throw this question out there because I know what it is. So
exactly. And well, that's good because you guys are spreading the word. So I'm glad you came on. And so Mark popped up and he said, everybody's complaining about not being able to find no man. But would you date a man in a wheelchair? And I kind of went, would I? So I wasn't sure if Mark was actually in a wheelchair. So I went to your page and I didn't see a lot of photos. Really? Since then, I've seen some more. But when I first went to your page, I was like, is he in a wheelchair? Is he not in a wheelchair? Then I thought to myself, that could be a little bit misguiding, right? Because somebody may not know you're in a wheelchair. So, but I'll get to all of those questions. I just want to give you guys a background of how we began. And I just thought there's visible and there's invisible disabilities, right? And I know we're going to talk about the word disability because I know you're not a fan of disability. Yes? Mark is frozen again. Okay, so Mark will come back. So we talk a little bit about invisible and visible disabilities. And it's much easier to hide an invisible disability than a visible disability, right? A lot of people, like I'm quite open. Some of you guys may know, some of you guys might not know, but I have epilepsy. I am thankfully controlled. So I haven't been, my life hasn't been impacted to the point where you would know unless I told you, right? So I guess what I would have would be an invisible disability. But, you know, from looking at me and, you know, I don't have to explain myself. But for somebody who has a visible disability, that's a different story. And I question myself, you know, would I date somebody with a visible disability or even an invisible disability, right? So I want to hear from you until hopefully Mark comes back. Mark says keep going because he has to reboot the app. We've been doing a lot of testing today and it's been on and off, right? So accessibility, Denise says something about accessibility. What exactly do you mean about accessibility, Denise? Do you feel like it would be more of a hindrance to date somebody with a disability? Michelle says, yes, you would. Okay. So you definitely, Michelle, would date somebody with a disability. Somebody in a wheelchair would not be an issue for you whatsoever. Is that what you're saying? Hey, Shola. Donovan said, for sure, I wish I could see all those invisible disabilities. I don't know where you're going with this one. I'm not sure, but yeah. So one of the questions that I am going to ask Mark, cross fingers that he does come back. He has to link into it, so hopefully he will. Is around sexuality, right? Like I know a lot of us will sit there and go, oh yeah, well, you know, we don't have any questions around that. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You want to know how, as a partner, right, how you would be treated sexually. We're sexual beings. That's an important thing for most of us. Give me hearts or likes if that's not something that you think about. Or is it not? Think about that one. Renee says, good question. My disability is invisible, right? There's other stuff too. There's diabetes, right? Somebody that has, that takes insulin. All of those things are, quote, disabilities, right? So those are some that, okay, and I see you guys are agreeing. It's that little delayed thing that's going back and forth. What about, until Mark gets here, would you date somebody who is sexually unable to please you? Maybe things just weren't working out down there. Would you still date somebody? I would like to hear if you would still date somebody who was unable to get the job done, so to speak. Let me know. Christopher Reeves had a son while he was disabled. It's the damn glasses, eh? I can't read through the glasses. Depends on the disability. I know someone that had a baby after he became disabled in a wheelchair. Hey man, if you can get the job done, you know, but it's more than just sexual though, I think. It's more than just sexual. I also believe that it is somebody that lives a very active lifestyle. If they live a very active lifestyle, then all of a sudden they meet somebody who can't necessarily go for a jog with them or go running with them like they would. How does that impact, right? How does that impact? Would you date somebody who is hearing impaired, right? And again, I apologize if I'm not using the right terminologies, but how would that impact somebody, okay? As in 2 minutes, okay, I gotta take the damn glasses off, it's not working. As in 2 minutes, or it just can't stand up. Listen, there's some men that don't have a disability that 2 minutes and then it can't stand up, okay? Sometimes it has nothing to do with any kind of well, I mean, sexual dysfunction could definitely be an issue for sure. All right. Jay, people date people all the time that can't get the job done, possibly because they are fulfilling other needs. Yes. Listen, do what you got to do. You might be a pro in some other areas, for sure. For sure. Mark, what's going on with you, Mark? Mark's commenting, but Mark needs to be on here with us, but that's okay. All right. So let's take some more. Denise says, my coworker is 19 years old, is dating a very accomplished man in a wheelchair. She's happy as can be because he treats her like a queen, is motivated to play sports too. Okay, here's a question. There's a lot of like assholes. I can be one when I want to be, but is he nicer because he's in a wheelchair? Am I going to hell? Going to light me on fire? You let me know what you think about that. Let me know what you think about that. Am I a jerk, or is that something that has crossed your mind? Because if we talk about, if we go back to like visible and invisible disabilities, I'd like to hear from people that have maybe he's back. Eventually, he's back. Okay. So I want to hear from people that have an invisible disability, that it has been just as difficult to share your invisible disability than it has been for someone like Mark that's actually in a wheelchair. Because that's real. Like for me, for a very, very long time, I was not comfortable sharing that I have epilepsy. I was not, especially because I'm a performer. I'm in the public. and it's something that was definitely frowned upon, right? It's also culturally a big, oh, she crazy, or oh, she has a spell, or let me pray for her. And it's not the easiest thing to do. But again, I can hide behind that if I choose to. I choose to be who I am. But there are people that will feel if they don't hide, then they won't be accepted. Yeah? All right. I'm just checking to see if you guys are all good because... All right. Mark, you there?
I am.
All right. So are we frozen, guys? Because on my thing, I'm frozen. Are you frozen on your phone, Mark?
I am. Well, on my tablet, yeah.
You're frozen. Okay. So guys, can you let me know if we're frozen? Let me know if we're frozen.
It won't even let me start the video.
Yeah, it won't either. So can you let me know, guys? If we're frozen, let me know. We're not frozen.
Okay.
And no, Rach, we're not frozen. Okay, we're just frozen, Mark. So we're going to put down our phones.
Okay.
And I want you to tell them a little bit of a story. So let's get an idea. Your first, last name, Mr. Mark Farrell.
Yes, ma'am.
As you can see, he's got some amazing art behind him. Right? We're going to talk a little bit about that, how you came to doing that. That is actually all made of glitter and glue. Is that correct? You sketched it? Glitter, yep. Glue. That's it. Yep. Yeah. All right. Talk up real loud for us, okay?
Not a problem. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I think we can hear. We can.
Okay.
All right. So I'm really enjoying my Sally, Jesse, Rachael, and it's your turn to talk. So why don't we just make you talk? Tell us a little bit about who you were at 18 years old.
At 18.
17.
17. Just lost my job at McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
Just got kicked out of.
Even before then, where did you come from?
Oh, came from St. Vincent and the Grenadines at the age of 13.
Okay.
And lived with my dad. And lived in the West End, Dufferin and Eglinton area. Then moved out to Rexdale, my first year of high school in grade 9.
Mm-hmm.
And I was involved in sports, weekend activities and stuff like that until I got fired from my job at McDonald's.
Well, we've all been fired. I've been fired several times. It's a celebration, actually, Mark, but go ahead.
And got kicked out of school for doing nothing. They just didn't want me in the school.
For nothing? What do you mean, nothing?
I was late.
We're going to kick him out for nothing. You must have done
I was late. No, I was late going back to school 1 week. And the principals called me into the office and said, you know what, you'll be 18 in a few months. Why don't you wait till you turn 18 and go to adult school? Because we had to take care of the grade 9s.
Okay.
That's what they told me. So
you weren't a troublemaker at all.
Not even troublemaker. I was a person where I wasn't being challenged enough in school. So okay. I wasn't applying.
Oh dear. I think Mark has our connection, my last week's connection. Hopefully he comes back. I was supposed to go over to his house, but it was me lazy, didn't want to go over there. But we'll see. All right. Because I'm a good host. I'm just going to keep going. So I want to go back. See, we lost him again. I want to go back to invisible disabilities. And if you've ever had a problem with disclosing your disability and how that interfered with your relationships, or perhaps you started a relationship and then something happened. Let me know. Let me get some company going on here until we get Mark back. Yeah, hold on. Let me scroll down and get your... Yeah, it is frozen all around. I don't know if you guys are frozen too, but we are totally frozen. I'm totally frozen. Love you guys for your patience, but okay, you're here, TT. I probably have one, but I'm not ready to admit it. Okay, so you have one, or you probably have one. You have one, or you probably have one. Let me tell you something. It is not easy to admit at all if you have a disability. Jesus lives. He's back. Okay, but I do want to definitely. It's okay. You know what? Don't move the phone, Mark.
I'm not even moving it. It's just chipping right out.
Chipping out. Okay. So yeah, anyway, Mark, I was talking about that it's not easy to admit of a disability, visible or invisible, right?
Nope.
People generally, I had all these stories going on in my head of what people will think, or will men want to date somebody who has an invisible disability? All those things go through your head. So it's definitely not. And thank you for those who are open about it. And I'd love to help you champion your disability, actually, to make it an ability and use your platform to be able to share. Because if nobody talks up about their disabilities or their health issues, then there's never going to be anyone that can jump online and go, I can relate to him, I can relate to her. Yes or no?
Correct.
So anyway, tell me, let's keep you going before something else happens. Go ahead.
Okay, so I wasn't applying myself to school as I should.
Right.
But when exams came, I passed my exams. My dad even had to call the school to ask the school if these were my report card, if these were my grades, because he didn't understand how I was missing so many classes and still pass.
Right.
So, at home wasn't a loving place for me. It wasn't a comfortable place for me. So I wanted to be any place but home.
That happens, unfortunately, to a lot of kids, right?
Yeah.
You want to be.
But as my dad is a single parent.
That's the title of your book, by the way, Mark. I want to be anywhere else but home.
That's a good one.
I won't even charge you for that at all.
Don't worry. You get paid.
Go ahead. All right, keep going.
So,
and move your thing down a bit. I can only see you from here. Right to ask you. There you go. There we go. Okay.
So, with not getting fired from McDonald's, not going to school, my dad said to me, it was either find a job or go to school.
Right.
And I was in a position where it was at those times in the early 90s, it was hard to find a job in Rexdale. It was factories and graveyards and funeral homes and not much else, schools.
Right.
And so don't have a job to have bus fare to get to school. So no school, no job, no nothing. As soon as I turned 18, my dad told me I had to find somewhere to live. So it was the streets for me.
Okay.
I'm talking bus shelter, donut shop, stolen cars, empty houses, whatever it took for me to survive. That's what I did. I'm not proud of it. A lot of stuff that I did, I'm not proud, but by any means necessary. And it was necessary for my survival. So I did what came naturally to or instinctively to me.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Okay. So bus shelters, doing what you have to do. And then what happened?
There was someone that knew my situation because they lived on my building. They knew my dad had kicked me out. And one night I was sitting at the bus shelter pretending to wait for the bus. And he knew that the bus had already stopped running. And he said, you know what, come man, I heard what happened. Don't worry. And he took me home that night with him. So he gave me a place to sleep. And the next day I went on the road with him doing his little running up and down or whatever, because at least I'm not out in the streets. I'm in a car. I'm kind of, right? And his way was just to use me, to have me in his car while he did his thing. I was oblivious to what was really going on in the beginning, because that was my thing to do.
Right.
If I'm not around it doing it, I won't really know it until common sense picks up, hey, something's going on.
Right. And so, did that ever click in for you?
It did. The very first day it clicked in, but I allowed it to happen because I had no one else to turn to. It was my dad, and the way I looked at it, he turned his back on me, and I had no other family members to really turn to ask for help. So,
because you had no other family up here?
Cousins and stuff like that, but nobody to really say, take me under their wings and try to help me get to a better place.
And then
no one was willing to do that.
Yeah, and being, unfortunately, another topic that's very prevalent in the Black community is we don't share with family when stuff is going on or we need help or things are happening that are bad at home.
I think my dad shared. My dad told people what was going on with me, but he made it seem like I was such a bad person, so they didn't want to help me. So everybody put their backs on me, so I literally had to stay in the streets.
Okay, all right. And so then what happened?
I got caught up with some other people that was way older than me. Some of them were old enough to be my dad.
Right.
And they wanted to use me to do things that I didn't want to do. But I decided not to, and because of my decision not to get caught up in that side of life, almost made me lose my life.
Tell us a little bit about that. What happened?
Without going into too much details, it was just another part of being homeless and not having any outlets. You find yourself moving from neighborhood to neighborhood, day to day, amongst people who are doing illegal stuff. And you get caught up in it because it's easy money, it's easy whatever. Everything comes easy.
Right.
So, even though I didn't want to be a part of the whole thing, it was easy to be attracted to that.
Absolutely.
To see what was going, even if you don't want to be caught up doing certain stuff, it's there is a kind of adrenaline rush, a kind of a lot of different stuff.
Can it become addictive because it's so easy and quick? Okay.
Right, and when you have nobody to turn to, it's way easy.
Yeah, right.
So, I went to Humber College one night. It was February 19th, 1994. A Black History Month event at Humber College on Lake Shore. And someone I knew was performing and asked me to show up to support him, and I did. And make a long story short, that's why I was shot, and that's why I ended up in the wheelchair. I was shot 3 times in my back.
Wow.
I didn't regain my full sense until 11 days later.
Okay.
I found out.
You're in the hospital, not interrupting you, but this is a thought that came to me. You were paralyzed?
Yeah.
Okay. So you woke up in the hospital.
Yeah.
Did they tell you right away?
No.
What did they say?
They had to go and call the doctors and I believe a priest or somebody to
You're not dead?
to kind of I guess because they knew the possibility of me flipping out. I may need some prayer at the time. I guess they just sent for everybody. They,
give you an Ativan, man. A priest.
They made sure my dad was there. By this time, my dad had heard about the incident, and they called him to show up as well before they gave me the news.
Right.
And about 3 doctors came in and they said, we have bad news. And at that moment, I'm telling them, I can't feel my legs. Where are my legs? And
oh, gosh.
They're telling me, your legs are there. And I'm trying to move, but I can't move because I'm completely out of it.
Hold your thought for 1 second. You have a little big up here. I got to take off the glasses here. We can't read it. Rex, still big up. I admire you, and I'm glad you're sharing your story. I had similar life, and I'm still alive. My sister, you have handled this interview very well. Tonks, my professional, very professional. I love your look, and you are both an example for the youth. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I can't see with the glasses.
Library teacher, right? Yeah.
Okay.
So they came in to say we have bad news, and I basically told them, you know what? I felt the position I was in. I was uncomfortable. I just wanted all the bad news all at once. I said, give it to me straight. And they said, one of the bullets hit your spine, and you'll probably never walk again. And at that moment, it's like I didn't understand. I couldn't understand. It's not like I didn't. I couldn't. I didn't want to. So my thing was, what do you mean I want to walk again? And it's like,
Michelle asked, I don't know how much due to legal reasons, but she asked, why were you shot?
I was shot because I was trying to separate myself from the lifestyle that I was being drawn into. And,
Right.
But because I knew too much of the lifestyle.
You knew too many names or too many.
Right. So it was a way of silencing me just in case something came up. And so.
Got you. Okay. So you get the news. You can't feel your legs.
Right.
How did this change your life? Before you even left the the hospital. Before you even left, and whatever happened next, which you'll share.
Right. I was in the hospital from February until May, late May, and then I was transferred to a rehabilitation center to go a 6 months intense therapy. That means I live there. I do everything at the rehab, basically what it is. But on June 2nd, I was arrested and charged with murder. So the next day, and these charges were in Ottawa.
Now, I've got to admit, because, I always have to put a little humor into what I do. So
Okay.
Mark and I were having this interview, and that's not why I'm not there tonight. I'm there because of the distance, right? But I'm talking to Mark, and I'm going through this interview with him, and Mark's talking about how he got shot, and then we got to the murder. I was like, maybe I'm okay over here. Maybe I'll stay by me. We could do, but that's not why we did the interview, because we've spoken so much, and it's not about that. I just have to be politically wrong, but keep going.
Okay, so where was I?
You were charged with murder.
Yes, and they stuck me in the back of an ambulance and drove 5 hours out to Ottawa, and they pulled up in front of the courthouse, took me out on the stretcher, and wheeled me up into the courthouse to face the judge.
From the hospital to the court.
From the hospital to the court to the cells. And I was denied bail. I did 2 years pretrial custody, dead time, which is I'm just sitting in a jail cell for 2 years waiting to go to trial. No therapy, no psychiatric help, no counseling, no nothing.
And you're dealing with the
physical part of it. So now, physical plus emotional and mental part of being shot, now I'm dealing with being even more confined physically, mentally, and emotionally. So it's
Right.
It's a double whammy.
Right. So you're trapped in your body, and you're also trapped in this place.
Right.
Double.
Without any help. Basic necessities as any prisoner, really.
Right. Right. So
I think the only part of being locked up for the 7 years is that I was in a cell by myself, because I complained that, I have needs and I have privacy. And they allowed that for me to have a cell to myself. So that was kind of a comfort inside of an uncomfortable situation.
That you had your own cell.
Yes.
What were the thoughts? Okay, so your first night in jail by yourself.
It was more of I wish I had died moment. I wish I had died when I got shot. Suicide. I was contemplating suicide. Like, how How am I able to kill myself? How am I able to not be here? How am I not able? I don't want to wake up. I want to sleep. I literally slept the first few months away.
Right.
Sheet over my head, my shoe. The moment they brought me into the cell, I crawled up into the bed with my shoes and everything on, and I covered my head for about 2 days. Because
I can't imagine, actually. I can't. I was going to say I can imagine, but I can't, actually.
No, I haven't even replayed a lot of that. Like, I know I just had to deal with it. Like, because my thing was, since the doctors gave me the news straight, I should be able to handle anything else in the light of what it is, really. If I'm locked up, I have to deal with being locked up. There's nothing I can do until I'm not locked up anymore.
Wow. Hold your thought. Again, the glasses come off. Trey, my brother at age 23 just got shot in Rexdale and was shot while driving. Never involved in anything. Church, school, work. Now he's paralyzed from the neck down. Any words of encouragement, Mark? That's a wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Do you have any words of encouragement?
You know, first, like, I'm really sorry to hear that, because I myself may not know everything of what he's going through, even though he's in a similar situation. But family and friends are what you're going to need to get through the toughest parts. If you don't have a good support system, you're not going to make it.
Right.
If there's no foundation there supporting you, and all you see is a caregiver or a stranger to help you do something daily, you're going to lose it. You're already challenged physically. You're just going to lose your mental state if there's not.
Is there a way for mentorship? Maybe at the end of our video, I can put up some links that can help support people who are going through this situation so they can find mentorship. You actually did do some mentorship.
I did do it from
but let's
2001.
take it back first. Let's take it back first. So you're in jail. What happens?
I went to trial 3 months every day. The jury was charged. It was 6 white men, 6 white women. So right away, so I didn't have any jurors of my peer on the jury. They kicked off any nurse, any doctors, any black person that came up. They booted them off the jury.
I'm scared Mark is going to freeze up again, you know. I feel it coming. Feel it coming. Oh, please, Mark, come back. All right, I'm going to take some comments until then. Titi, when I was younger and I guess judgmental, I used to wonder how could people commit suicide or even contemplate committing suicide. And it wasn't until I ended up in a dark place myself I finally understood. I wouldn't do it, but I finally understood. And I commend you for getting through such hardship and overcoming. Kudos to you. All right. I'm going to take some comments, catch up on what you guys were saying. Marie, I always say your name wrong. Marike, I understand you're a motivational speaker. Too bad you can't reach gang members to stop random and meaningless shooting acts. Mark does do quite a bit in the community. So hopefully he will come back and talk about it. Sarah says, funny and real story. The only time I ever considered dating a man with a disability, he ended up being a manipulative jerk who already had a girlfriend. He was using his disability to constantly playing the victim. So a man with a disability doesn't mean he's a good person. Absolutely. The lesson of the day, a man with a disability can be a serious double burden if he is essentially not a good man. So far, never again. Am I not a flippin' great on the move when my guests go away? I just keep it rolling like a... Okay, we have him. He's back.
You're rolling. I'm in the one rolling, right?
Yeah, I keep it going. That's what I do. I keep shit going. So you timed out. One of the things that was said, someone said that in regards to suicide, they never considered at any point suicide, but there was like they wouldn't do it. I believe that was Titi, but then she understands because there was moments of her actually wanting to commit suicide at certain times.
Yeah, I mean, if you go through stuff in life that break you completely, those things do go through your mind. But then you think about the people that you're going to hurt. Who knows how long they're going to live? They might have to live 70 years with that hurt.
Right. And another comment that was that I had just read, I believe, oh gosh, where are you? Because I'm scrolling at the same time. I think it was Sarah. Sarah basically said that she considered dating a man, and he turned out to be an asshole. But he had a disability, and he was angry, right? I won't lie. There's certain times I see someone in a wheelchair, and you can move around me on the sidewalk. You can. You're just being an asshole. But they're coming at me, and it's obviously coming from a place of anger. Right. Could be they're having a bad day. Could be that they're angry that they're in a wheelchair. So when you became how should I say it? You're in a wheelchair. You separate. Your person.
I was frustrated. I was very frustrated, angry. For the first 5 years, I went through a state of depression, anger, so many different emotions and feelings that nothing didn't really matter to me. I was just living day to day, really. And plus, I was locked up. So when you're locked up, especially when you're locked up for 7 years, it numbs you in some parts of life where you don't react to certain things the way a normal person who has never experienced hardship would react.
Right. And there he goes again. Okay. So, I'm thanking you guys for your patience today, because although the internet connection is bad, I ask you for your patience to hang tight, because he's got such a very important story to tell. Okay. But yeah, I would definitely agree that when somebody has a disability, it doesn't give them a license to be a jerk, right? And I think that comes from not having the kind of support that you need, and being angry at having some of the thinking back on the things that you were able to do, to the things that you're not always able to do. So again, speaking from the whole epilepsy thing, I used to love to swim, right? Big swimmer. And then hadn't had any kind of seizure at all for like 21 years. Then all of a sudden, I had one after 21 years. And I couldn't swim anymore. I didn't feel safe to swim anymore. And that got me angry. And if it can choose, all of a sudden my life was very much about, can I do this? Can I do that? Can I go on stage? Can I teach the kids that I teach theater to? Can I do all of these things? And there was a lot of anger around this, because as far as I was concerned, this wasn't something that I ever had to worry about again, right? Thank you, Denise. Denise says, I'm doing great. All right. Michelle says, has Mark been in a relationship since being in a wheelchair? Well, Mark, when Mark comes back, we will definitely ask him. These are all the questions that I do want to ask. I will check in, and I'm sure he will be back shortly. All right. Let's see. Clarendon says you remember his case. Okay. All right. So what are some of the other questions that you guys might want to ask while he's coming back? Hopefully he's coming back. Because we haven't even gotten into the part about dating somebody with a disability, and I think that's important. And he's back.
I think this app likes to be touched because every time I put it in my hand, it turns on.
What does the so maybe can you hold it? Are you finding that when you hold the camera, it stays?
Yeah, it seems like it. When I try to get it back on, I have to take it up off the tripod and hold it, and it turns back on. So. Okay,
so can you hold it?
I'll see how long I can hold it for.
Okay, see how long you can hold it for. Someone came and asked, have you dated someone while being in the wheelchair? Okay.
I have.
Okay, have you dated? Dated? Okay, so hold that thought. I'm going to actually make you answer. This is how real we get on Real Talks with Rachael-lea. Rachel needs to pee. So you go ahead, and I'll be right back.
All right. Oh, so I guess where did I stop? Well, where did I get kicked off? Being broken in pieces, nothing really matters until you can see something, until you can find something inside you that shows you that life matters. I don't want to go too far with saying too much, but I was at that state of anger and hate and everything, resentment, even to the people who were trying to help me. So even to the person who said her brother was shot.
Oh, did I get back just in time until he froze? And yes, I did. I actually did go to the ladies' room and came back in good timing. But, yeah, we keep missing it. Just when I thought I was going to ask questions. You guys are awesome. I almost feel like I don't want to stop. Should you guys hang in there? You want to keep hanging in there? Let me know. What brought you back to the world, Mark? And no, you didn't hear the toilet flush because I didn't want to completely embarrass myself. I did, however, wash my hands. Keeping it real. What talk show do you know where the host goes and pees and comes back? All right, Mark.
Yes.
Go.
Do you know I was gone for a second?
Yes, and I was being asked if I flushed the toilet. Keep going.
So, to the person who said her brother got shot, you have to look out for the times where he's going to resent you guys. He's going to lash out at the people that are closest to him, even though they're trying to help him.
Yes, yeah.
So patience. You got to be patient with him. You got to understand where he's coming from. Is that he's not mad or upset at you? It's a situation that has him like that.
Right.
So
Sorry, go ahead.
The anger that he may display is not towards the person directly. It's to the situation.
Mm-hmm. Move your thing up a little bit. I can't see. Yeah, perfect. So did we talk a little bit about yes, Tammy, we took a commercial break. Did we talk a little bit about the whole relationship thing?
No, I've been in relationships. I know a lot of you are probably wondering, can I? I know this is where it's going. So, I mean, and there are challenges. I mean, there are people or female would get that negativity from their family and close friends. Oh, he's in a wheelchair, he's been in trouble. But that's something that I put on the table maybe the very first day if I meet somebody. And I think that maybe...
Move up, yeah.
And I think maybe there's a possibility that something may come of it. I put everything on the table, where I'm coming from. And it's for them to decide.
When you meet the parents, you meet
not the parents. The person that may like me.
Right.
I put it all on the table the very first day, As yeah,
But
I have to. That way,
why?
I'm not wasting anybody's time.
You don't want to wait till hors d'oeuvres or maybe the next day?
Nah, I like the steak just like that.
That's a lot to. I mean, I'm playing
But
devil's
hold on.
advocate, right?
But let me ask you this: what if it went on and on and on, and then all of a sudden I started saying, well, this happened and that happened, and
No,
who knows how you.
I think it's good that there is a level of honesty, right? But I think, again, okay, you're in a wheelchair, you were in a wrong place at the. I mean, who am I? Who am I? I'm not in your position, but let's take it to the audience. Would that set you back, or would you prefer to know right away, or would you like Mark to kind of ease in, like even the next day or the day after? I don't know if you, and I'm respecting your choice, Mark? Not telling you not to, because but Tammy says, I agree, time is precious and limited. And Michelle says we all have pasts. Yeah, for sure.
True. Very true.
Maybe do you maybe explain before a physical date? Like, do you have conversations with women before the date, so by the time you have the date, she already knows?
Definitely.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a very open person. I mean, I can't hide the fact that I'm in a wheelchair.
TT says, lay it on the line. Can you see those posts coming up?
Yep.
Okay, so TT says, lay it on the line. So
Yeah,
there's
you might as well, because put it this way, first impressions are what it takes, right?
right.
So I don't want to come off as I deceived somebody, or why did you, because you hear that a lot in relationships or things that may turn into relationships. Why didn't you tell me? You could have told me. I've been through moments like that where I struggle with telling somebody something, and I wait too long to tell them.
Move on.
And it becomes a problem because it's mistrust.
So here's the thing. Here's the question. The question that I said I was going to ask. When you're dating somebody, a lot of women will want to know, while you were off earlier, we talked about sexual compatibility, intimacy. How do you manage that? How do you deal with that? Are you open about prior to our conversations?
Right. I am open to that, because you know what? It's life. I mean, for those of us who have kids and have had sex, we're comfortable telling the next person. Dr. Sue had a sex show.
Yeah,
I mean,
sex with Sue.
Right? So me sharing my journey in life, as my sexuality as a person who is differently able, or a person in a wheelchair, I'm comfortable with that.
But have you discovered, I don't want to go deep, but have you discovered if there is any kind of inability? Are there other ways that your abilities shine?
I think it works better now. Hey, like fine wine, it gets better with age, right? So
you don't have necessarily any problems sexually with?
No, none.
Like at all?
Maybe I take too long sometimes.
Oh, okay. So see, this is what we wanted to know. Like I'm sort of like dancing around it. I'm just like, everything's like, everything.
Yeah. Everything is on the up and up. I mean, I'll tell you this. I'll share this with you.
You know, lady, you could just get out of that wheelchair or on the bed, right? Right? It's like a chair.
Whew.
Am I lying? Let me see if the hearts and lights. All of you guys, right? You seeing your phone? I ask the questions people don't want to ask. Right? You want to know hey, I can deal with no legs. I'm unable to use your legs. Just want to make sure that there's right?
I think some
There are some people with disabilities. You're fattening yourself. There are people with disabilities that aren't able to do that. So
exactly.
the question we're asking.
The two people can have the same injury, and one can be able to have sex, and the other one not able to have sex.
Right.
And me being in a chair, I interact with other people in chairs, and I know a lot of young black men in chairs, unfortunately. And
so, here's a question for you. Would you date another woman in a wheelchair?
If the house is burning down, who gonna save who?
Well, but it goes. Are you saying that if they're lift your camera? I can't see you.
Sorry.
If so, you're basically saying if there's a house fire,
right,
they all can't help each other, but it has to go deeper than that.
Right. I was just being funny with that one. I mean, I'm open to that. I mean,
but it's not your first choice.
No, it would not be my first choice, because I tell you something too. I don't see myself as a person in a wheelchair. I just see myself as somebody who's differently able to do everything else that everybody else do, because I've lived on my own. I've done everything on my own for the last 23 years. Cooking, cleaning, laundry, driving, groceries, whatever somebody with the mental capacity has to take on a daily basis, do the same thing. So at the age of 19, I had to become a little bit of a doctor, a little bit of a nurse, a little bit of a counselor, a little bit of everything in order to find my balance to push on in life.
Right.
No pun intended, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, I feel like it's interesting. It's an interesting take, because I sat there myself and I said, would I date somebody with epilepsy? Probably not.
Right.
I mean, we talk about being really honest.
Yeah.
And I have friends who have epilepsy, and would I? Probably not. Why is that? Why? It's something worth looking at, right? Why? Why would we do that? Would you, if you guys have something that you're dealing with, would you date somebody who had the same disability? Like for me, I just see, I mean, I work with Epilepsy Toronto, and I see a lot of people with epilepsy, and it's a lot. It can be a lot, especially if seizures are not under control. So I'd have to say no. So you, Mark, if you had a yes or a no, not this I'm open shit, yes or no, would you date somebody in a wheelchair?
Are you talking to me or the
You're
audience?
the only Mark, you know?
I'm sorry, you tripped out, so I didn't hear the whole thing, but
move your camera. Make sure your camera is on you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes or no? None of this in between lukewarm stuff.
I would.
You would?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I mean, if I didn't,
move up, Mark. Work with me, brother.
All right, I'm trying. I'm holding it. Remember that.
Yeah. Okay.
If I wasn't able to date somebody in a wheelchair, then I shouldn't be looking to date anybody else.
Is that true, or is that honest? Does that make me a bad person that I don't want to date somebody that may have epilepsy? Or is it triggering that I don't want to? It's just like, there's enough going on over here. I don't know if I want a lot of this going on over here. Like, even as I say it, it does make me feel bad, but you know, I'm about being real, right? So
to Michelle, Michelle's comment.
Yeah,
that's a pride. That's more of a pride thing where I can do it myself.
Yeah. So Michelle
So
said,
you,
I once saw a man fall out of his wheelchair going up a type of non-accessible ramp, and he didn't want my help. I've experienced that.
it's more to do with pride. It's more to do with pride. You don't want any help because you can do it yourself.
Uh-huh.
So you don't want people to think or have the idea that you have to take care of them if they fall. Somebody's gonna have to be there to to pick them up or whatever. I mean,
Right.
I get out of my chair, stuff fall from me all the time, and I get out of my chair, I go on the floor, and I look under the couch to find whatever went under the couch. I moved the couch.
Right.
I emptied my whole apartment by myself just to find something.
Right.
So
Wow.
it,
All right. Marriage, thanks for the ad. No problem. There's so many great things that are coming up here. Oh boy, hold on. It's nice to have different qualities than your partner so you can provide and share what you can give to a relationship and receiving qualities they are strong in. Now, I mean, it's not that I would, like, if I went on a date with somebody, or if you went on a date with somebody and they ended up being in a wheelchair, or they had, epilepsy or something else, it's not like I would end the date, but it wouldn't be something I would naturally push to find. Do you guys agree with that? Yes, no, am I being unreasonable? Let me know, right? So what is it that you're looking for in a woman, Mark?
it's a good question.
Or what do you think? Here's a better question. What can you offer a woman?
Good question. I look at myself as a balanced kind of person, somebody who's well seasoned, not like curry goat though, but
You what?
not seasoned like curry goat, better seasoned. I've been through life where I've been taken out of the picture, and I'm able to sit back and look at a lot of different things and find answers, easy answers, simple answers, how to get around obstacles, how problem solving. Every day is a problem solving mission for me because I don't know what obstacles I'm going to run into.
Right. That's true. Mark might be frozen. So Mika, I think this might have been directed at me. How can you ask to be accepted if you can't accept it? What if they are fine when you meet them, then develop that disability? Would you leave? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I would definitely not leave somebody who got sick or got a disability. Absolutely not. I always feel though that there's that window of time where you can kind of leave. You can make those choices of what's it different from. I'm sure that there are, like, for example, some men that they meet a woman and on the first date, maybe they haven't had any children yet. And the woman says, well, I'm unable to have children. For some men, that's no big deal. Let's do adoption. Let's figure it out. All of that. For some men, it would be a deal breaker, right? Now, what's worse? To be with somebody and be open and loving to a relationship, or to just be with somebody because you think it's the right thing because of their disability, like that you like who you like. Now, again, some people's personalities supersede their disability, right? But I think it depends on the type of disability in regards to your current lifestyle. Let me know what you think about that. I really hope Mark comes back because he was going to also show you some of his artwork. So hopefully he'll come back one more time. If not, I definitely will have an interview with him after the show, so we can continue the conversation even if it's not online. Let's hear more of your questions. Never be who you are not in a relationship. Not sure what you mean. I believe in love. Yeah, I believe in love too. Listen, nobody loves love like I love love. In fact, I love love to a point, like way more. All my friends are like, you love a love. And it's true. But I also have to be realistic on certain things. Like, we actually have an upcoming guest that I haven't spoke about. We haven't scheduled her in yet, but this is a heavy one. She has a child with special needs, and the doctor told her to have an abortion, suggested she has an abortion. She did not have the abortion. And now she is a mother of a child with high needs. So it's talking about being realistic about what is okay for you, right? And I don't think that there's anything wrong with being honest and clear. I think there's something to be said about giving people an opportunity to touch your lives and come into your lives, and there's reasons why people come into your life, right? And to kind of push through stereotypes, because we have our ideas. Like, honestly, dying to ask Mark that question if everything works out. And I know you guys wanted to know too. But did that change your view of attractiveness? Because for me, it was like, I don't know what's going on. Okay, now I know what's going on. Okay, that might be all right. And I think that there's different levels, right? Like, is somebody capable to like live a productive life every day? There's a big difference, right? And oftentimes I've seen where one partner has a disability or some kind of health issue, and one of you guys asked me about, would you leave somebody after they got sick? No, but I have actually seen where one person got ill, right? And it was to do with his mental capacity, right? So then he started to decline, and then his wife became a caretaker, right? And their level of, it's not like they started this way from the very beginning. All of a sudden it happened. And then he became a caretaker. You get me? So that's, there's a big difference about that. When you become a caretaker, all of a sudden, does the sexual attraction change? You know, you're no longer having sex with your husband or your wife. You're having sex with somebody who you have to help survive, right? And Michelle says, till death do us part. Do you guys believe in till death do us part? Do you think all of us are till death do us part? Let me know. If you believe in death do us part, thumbs in the air, hearts in the air. Michelle, I think you might be alone, sister. Or there just might be a delay. Okay, there's one. You got one. To death do us part in so many different ways. Sarah says no. And Corinne says that's a part of the vows. For better or for worse, in sickness or in health. I think that's easier said than done. That's just my opinion. I think sometimes those vows also keep us in unhealthy relationships. I'm not talking, this is a whole different thing. Excuse me, the bubbly water. I think this is a whole different thing than actually the whole disability thing, but the wedding vows, okay? Wedding vows keep us in shit that we shouldn't be in. But they also encourage us to stay and work on things that have the ability to mend, right? Those whole death do us part stuff, I've seen a lot of death do us part people extremely unhappy. So that's something. I don't know, guys. If we don't get Mark back, I definitely want to make sure that I give his information, okay? So Mark, what I know from what we've talked about is that Mark then went on to be a youth counselor and to support youth in the community in regards to staying off the streets, and he spoke at several places. He also has a Facebook group that I want you to go to, and it's called Touch of Gold Creative Designs. Touch of Gold Creative Designs. You saw some of his artwork in the back, and beautiful, beautiful stuff. He actually does work for autism. So he is in the midst of building like this 6-foot frame, 6-foot picture of basketball players, and then working on stuff. I don't even know if I should have said that, but he's working on raising money for I think it's either mothers who have autistic children, and I'm sure that he would definitely want to get involved if you have a passion project. He's got a great heart and a great spirit, and I know that I would love to have him back. Regardless, what I will do, oh, I'm going to take this. Hold on. Michelle. My girlfriend had a significant stroke 2 years ago and still has not regained one side of her body, and her husband has been amazing. But what you are talking about is different with Mark. Yeah, death do us part doesn't always apply. It doesn't. And you know what, Michelle? There are some life partners that might not be able to manage that, right? And does that make them a bad person? If somebody says, it's time for me to walk away from this. It's time for me. I can't do this. I can't, honestly, my heart can't manage this. Is this a bad thing? Or is this somebody just being true to themselves and loving someone enough to letting them go because they cannot commit the way a partner should? You know, what do you think about that? Let me know what you think about that. Where can we buy his art? Again, go on to Touch of Gold Creative Designs. Let me see if I can put that up. I think that might be him trying to show. Hold on. Oh, my computer. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Touch of Gold Creative Designs. Okay, Touch of Gold Creative Designs. Go to his page, like it. He's got some amazing, amazing, amazing work. I'm gonna follow up with some questions. So do me a favor, put all of the questions that you have here. I'm gonna stop the interview. Hold on, I think this is him messaging me. Hold on, he might be back. Yeah, so what I will do is, he might come back any second. But if he doesn't, what I will do is please leave some questions and I will do a follow-up interview. And let me take a couple of comments. Some stay while they are sick and being taken care of, get well, then leave the caregiver. That is a good point, right? Or feel like maybe you've taken care of me during this time, and now you're a reminder of that time. So I actually, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like when a man has money or doesn't have money, and then that woman is with him all along and then makes the money. See you, honey, because they're also a reminder of a time where he wasn't as successful. I don't know if that's a really crappy comparison, but sometimes the people we're with can be a reminder of our past, for sure. And I think that's where it comes from. Dating somebody who also has a disability can be triggering. I think Michelle said that. It could be like a mirroring, which I definitely think is fair to say. Who does he have in his circle now? Darcy, the perceptions of, Darcy, where are you, Darcy? Darcy. The perceptions of Christians will see it as a bad thing to leave your spouse. Yeah, absolutely. And, who came up with those rules? Really? Let's see. Marion said, most life partners cannot handle a bad cold, much less. So, anyway, as much as I wanted this to, I know that we could have gone on for a long, this is the first time this has actually happened, and I'm really super excited to speak with Mark, and hopefully I will have an opportunity to speak with him again. But I will make sure that I put up and answer as much of these questions as possible. If this is the first time that you're listening into me, please, please, please like my page, follow my page so you can continue to get updates. I have some really exciting things coming down the line. Can't tell you about them just yet, but just know that you are a part of my growing process. And every Wednesday I put lashes on. Because I love you. It's because I love you. So anyway, I am sending you out, like every week. How we begin is how
TV shows after shows after shows after shows.
Write your questions. Like my page.
All is like rules after rules.
Tune in next Wednesday.
And rules after rules. The black one rule because rules after
I
rules.
love you guys. Thank you for your patience.
Look at me now when them treat me less than good.
I will see you next week, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. I've got a really great topic next week. Make your questions. And I do have a YouTube channel, Real Talk with Rachael-lea, or you can look me up by my Gmail, which is dinner.mint@gmail.com. Okay? So it's Real Talk with Rachael-lea. Like my page. I have Real Talk with Rachael-lea Facebook page, or you can like my personal page, and I'll get all that information. I'll also post all of Mark's information. Everything from there. All right? Peace, love. Have a wonderful
Look at me now, I'm the tell you my life. When them used to come out, they don't know. No one used to come out. My life was so lonely. Look at me now, look at me now.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
You know, it's funny. I was connected all the time, but you weren't on the screen. And I'm here.
Thing, and you're still there.
I'm here talking, not even knowing if anybody could hear me.
Oh boy. Okay, so I guess we just keep going. We can keep going. For those that want to stay on board, can I get some pluses and likes? Because I was just about to click off. You guys, let me know if you're still here. Give me a sec, okay? Oh, well, it's building back up. Okay, so people are still here. You know I was signing off, right? I was signing off. I was signing off. Okay, all right. Can we hear Mark? I've never signed off and then came back. It's like I've risen from the dead again. It's fantastic. All right. All right, so there was some questions that came up, Mark. What were they? Ask them again, people. I'm so thrown. Are you kidding me? He's gone again? Mark? No, I have to. I can't. Everybody has their limits, man. We're
You know what?
Is he coming back? You coming back? Stay where you are. Don't move. Just hold the phone. Don't move. Can we hear you? Can we hear you?
Yeah, you can hear me. I hope so.
Okay. All right. Don't move. Like at all. Don't shift.
It's the app. It's not even the phone. It's the app that keeps booting me out.
Oh, it's the Be Live. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So he's back again. Back by popular demand. All right. So let's have some of these questions going because they're all the way down my thread now. So if you guys have some questions, please let me know. Please let me know. He's also using the Be Live. So he's using the Be Live app, and I'm not. So is he gone? He's gone again. Part 2.
I'm right here.
They're saying you're gone.
I think it's just delayed on their screen.
No, you're pretty much gone. I
Am I?
can see, but you can't. So, guys, put angry faces if you can see him, or if you can't see him, because I can see him on mine. Or put hearts if you can see him. Let's give it a second, because there's a bit of a delay. If you can see him, put hearts. It's my only way to know. Okay, so yeah, people see you, Mark. Okay, so what are you looking for? Like, if you had a girlfriend at the time before you got shot, and then you were in a wheelchair, would you blame her for leaving?
No. That was the situation with me. So can't say that I blame her. I mean, I was 19, she was 17.
Yeah, that's a very tough time to deal with that.
Yeah, so I don't hold that against her.
So your life now, tell us about those magnificent pieces of art. Tell us about the Mark who has shifted. How many years later?
23 years later.
23 years later. How old are you?
43.
43? No shame in 43. No shame in 43. Okay. So what does Mark have to offer the world and women? You want to fall in love? Are you in love?
No, I'm not in love.
You believe in love?
I do.
Do you want love?
Huh. How was I meant to give it?
Sorry?
It's not so much do I want love, because I have experienced love in the truest form of love. And I'll tell you what I mean by that.
Tell us.
I'm still here when I should have been dead. That is love. That's my Father in heaven loving me. So it wouldn't matter to me if a woman loved me, if I experienced love again from a woman. It wouldn't matter, because I know the love that really matters. You know.
Wow, I'm speechless. I usually have something witty or something to say. Not witty, because this doesn't even call for witty. You've really made me think about what you're saying.
Right.
Do you think we're all meant to find somebody on this earth?
I believe that.
Yeah.
I mean, why did God make Adam and Eve?
Or Adam and Steve.
Hmm?
Whole other topic. But what I feel is that I feel that you are deserving of love. And I want the audience to let me know if you think that he is deserving of meeting somebody. Got a whole bunch of, you can't see the likes, Mark, but I can see the likes, and I can see all of that.
I mean, I put it this way. I was engaged once. In 2011, I was engaged. And it didn't happen.
Do you know why? Do you care to share why?
A lot of differences.
So it had nothing to do with abilities or disabilities?
No, it was with cultural differences and stubbornness and stuff like that. It wasn't
like what any other man would.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with me being in a wheelchair. And to be honest, I was the one that broke it off.
Tammy says it doesn't seem like you're interested in a relationship. Or have you lost faith?
Like I said, I'm not. I am interested in a relationship, but I believe there are things that I still have to accomplish in my life and for myself. Because you got to think, at the age of 19 to 27, I had no experiences in life and building myself.
I see. And I think a lot of people don't take that time and want to jump into a relationship.
Right. And I believe
more abilities. I think that's a valid reason.
I believe what has made, or what played a factor in me not going through with any of my past relationship is not having that young man's experience of teenage to young adulthood to figure out what you want in a woman. You still, it's just within the last maybe 8-9 months, I started looking at it and saying, I never experienced certain things. So maybe is that why relationships are kind of rocky with me, because I find myself starting over.
Right.
Whether it's just dating or trying to be serious, something happens where I could never seem to get it back.
Right.
So,
that makes sense. Do you feel like because your life has shifted you where nothing has really been completed, you've not been able to complete your youth?
I've never really had a solid foundation to begin with at home. So,
right. So what?
This is me trying to build a solid foundation just in case. What if I have kids? I want to be able to do for my kids that my dad wasn't able to do for me, or what he refused to do for me.
Right.
So financially, I don't have, I'm not at that place to have a family financially, but I'm still able to do the things that a man should do if he has a partner 50-50.
Right. So right. The sense I get and the sense let's go to some of our comments, okay?
Okay.
Darcy says, I think he gave up. Maybe if he finds someone who is equally shares his passion and will take things step by step, he can really settle down. But disappointment could also lead someone to rejection. Good point. Yeah. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I've not given up. I mean, like I said, I have.
Because there's lots of women in this city that have walked the path with men, whether it's a physical, a financial.
Right.
What holds you back from not seeing that is it that you have things that you need to get done, but I feel like we all need to be real careful with doing that one day. That's like me saying, when I lose 30 pounds, then I'll start a real talk show.
You know what? I think part of it is growing up back in the Caribbean. My grandfather was the breadwinner. He was a sailor, and he took care of all my grandmother's needs. He wasn't home half of the year, but my grandmother never needed.
Okay. I'm done, guys. I love Mark. I really do. But I think it's bye-bye time. Mark, this will be on the wall and you will see it. I officially give up. I love you. I will make sure. No, even if he comes back, I see him coming back. Mark, I was like, I'm done. I love you, Mark.
This app is crazy.
This is crazy. I will do a full interview with you, but it's like chop, 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 chop.
Do you want to redo it?
We could definitely go on. Let's keep it going one more time.
Okay. Then
if it stops, peace out, brother. And then we'll do a one-on-one interview and post it, okay?
Yeah, and here's another suggestion. If people have questions, they could still post it in the feed and tag either you or me, directing the question to whoever. And
I would follow up with an interview.
Right.
A live interview, and we'll answer all of those questions.
Right.
I just think my audience has been, and some of your friends that are watching have been super, super patient.
Yeah.
But I think we need to get some of these questions and get them sent. And then you and I will stick around. We'll do an interview, right, and we'll post it up. Does that sound fair?
Not a problem.
Okay, so this is what I want you guys to do. Is I would like you. We'll look at all of the questions that you have posted. This will be posted. I want to thank you guys for tuning in and staying on board. And this Be Live stuff, as much as I try, I use Be Live because it's the only platform I have where I can do 2 side-by-sides. Facebook Live does not do that yet. When they do, I will do it. Until now, I have the most amazing audience that stays with me. So once again, like any thespian, I like to end my shows the way it starts. My sound system, big DJ, big DJ. All right. So love to all of you guys. Again, if you want to follow Mark, you can go to his Touch of Gold Creative Designs. Do a flash. Can you do a flash of your art? Can you show them real quick? Can you show them real quick some of the paintings behind you? You able to do that? So these are all made with glitter and glue. So they have a shine to them. And he sketches them out at first. So, yeah, Michelle, I know our questions go like this. But are they not? There's Whitney, right? There's some beautiful, 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 and it doesn't do it justice from what you're saying. It doesn't see you justice. But I will make sure that we do this, Mark, when we do our interview, okay?
All right.
All right. So, Mark, I want to thank you. Come on back. You might want to say goodbye to everybody.
Oh, that's the second.
All right. So you might do a quick shout out and goodbye. So,
thank everybody for tuning in. Sorry that the video was choppy. Feel free to ask me any other questions, whether by inbox or whatever. I'm trying to sort out this camera, but
we'll work on it. Maybe the next time I'll come to you.
Whichever works best, I'm open.
All right. Okay.
So good night, people.
For another episode now, Mark, we always do this. We throw a kiss together at the end, okay?
Okay.
Ready? All right. Real Talk with Rachael-lea every Wednesday from 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. We're wishing you an amazing evening. Mark, you ready? You ready? Have a great night, guys.